These little drone motors have some damaged leads, so we're gonna go ahead and repair them. First I'm putting a little bit of flux on there. Then we're gonna hit it with the soldering iron to carefully remove a bit of that epoxy so we can expose the face leads. Once those leads are visible, we want to prep the area so that the new wires can make clean connections to the soldering pads. The thing about wires these small is that the goal is to use just enough solder to create a solid electrical joint without creating a bridge or putting too much heat into the motor. I went ahead and tinned the iron, added a small amount of solder to the wire, and then soldered the new lead directly onto the exposed connection point. Here I'm cleaning up the area a bit, prepping it for some UV resin. I did expose a little bit more copper wire than I wanted to, but we're gonna go ahead and deal with that. We're gonna insulate that and reinforce it with the resin. The important thing again is to avoid using too much solder, because with parts this small, the excess solder can cause shorts and make the joint bulky. Here, I'm applying the UV resin. This helps insulate the exposed connection and add some mechanical strength. These are some really tiny leads, so I want to reduce the chance of them snapping off again. The UV resin gives the repair some strain relief while keeping the connection protected. I'm moving the wires around carefully while applying the resin and trying to keep the area as clean as possible. Yeah. So you can see here I'm using a little spare piece of wire to clean up the area. May not be the cleanest, but it gets the job done. Yeah, now I'm hitting it with the UV light to cure the resin and lock everything in place. I like to cure it from multiple angles just to make sure the resin hardens all the way through and it's a solid repair. Yeah, so for this next motor, I'm repeating this same process. I'm tinning the iron using a small amount of solder, carefully working through that epoxy. We just want to work through that epoxy to reveal that lead. Once that face lead is exposed, you can add a little bit of flux to help the solder flow. Once you've got that going, here I already added some flux, and now I'm attaching this new wire. This one took a little bit more patience. The joint definitely isn't perfect, but the wire is attached and it's holding. Once the connection is in place, I went ahead and sealed it up and hit it with the UV light again. After this, I'm going to check some continuity with a multimeter, make sure the connections are good. I'll go ahead and record that process separately, and then we can move on to installing the motors and doing a spin test. For now, they're holding really well.